Let's go, let's go. It is your host with the most. We are back with another Read, Remember, Repeat interview. Tap in, tap in, tap in. I could feel the magic already. This is going to be a great interview. I'm hoping you guys tune in and get some amazing sauce out of this interview. We're working on the workbook. The workbook should be out, I think maybe tomorrow. So if you guys are following along, you guys could tap in and get, some notes out of everything that's going on over here with the platform. How's everybody feeling today? It's a beautiful day out. Beautiful day to be alive. Get things done. You know what I mean? Write in the comments, man. Who's in here? Who's in here so I can give my shout outs to my people? You know what I mean? It's a great day today. Great day. Let's go. I'm adding a few people in. Adding some people in. Let's go. Yeah, man. The weekend is coming. I know everybody's getting ready for the weekend. You know what I mean? I hope y'all have a blessed and safe weekend. Our special guest is coming on. I see you, Nat. Our special guest is coming on. I'm about to invite her now. Bear with us. Instagram, let us be great.
Hi,
Hey, how's it going, Natalie?
I'm good. How are you?
I am phenomenal. Is it Natalie or Natalie?
It's however you want to say it. It's Natalie, Natty. I don't know. I don't care. It's Natalie, but whatever you want to say.
Uh,
I've been called
oh
everything.
man,
Calls me whatever.
I like your vibe already. Yeah, so I want the people to definitely know about this book that you got going on, Cosmica. I love the name of the book. I like everything that you represent. I see you doing your thing over there on your side. I want to give the proper introduction, right? Because what I seen from the videos of you speaking, your poetry, is like you really get deep, like, you know what I mean? And it touched me when I seen that one where you was just standing up and it was a lot of people around. You was, you know, just in your flow. And I was like, wow. I'm like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean? Because you really taking it there. You know what I mean? Like you're not scared. You just really courageous and just like I hear it in your speech.
Well,
Tell the people. Yes, sir. Yes,
uh,
yes.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely putting it out there and being vulnerable. And even if I am scared, I still do it. Honestly, like that's the way to push through it. Is through that fear. Is to just push through it and do it anyways. So.
Oh man, you got a lot of courage because man, I'm telling you, sometimes I gotta go up there and speak and do things, and I'm like, oh man, I feel it, but I guess that's who you're becoming, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, the more I do it, the more I'm out there, the more I speak about it, the more, and I think also it's like the comfort of being just myself and like being like my book is so much like of me that being to speak, authentically about me is just makes it more comfortable to just be myself and be out there, I'm not creating something. It's really like just being who I am and being vulnerable and just allowing myself to be.
Oh man, yes, yes. Tell us about yourself. Tell us, where you from, background, all of the good stuff.
Yeah, I am, well, born and raised in Los Angeles, the 818, the Valley Girl.
Hey.
I am first generation Latina. My parents migrated here from Mexico back in the 70s. So I grew up very much in the Chicano culture. Yeah, I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. I'm raising a beautiful little girl. I do it all. I'm writer, poet. I do PR. I've done PR for a long time, creative directing, just like in the arts, really kind of like in the arts, deeply in the arts, any way I can get it in. And yeah, just really an LA girl, but like in the other side of LA, like the really deep side of LA where it's like people think of Hollywood and everything. And it's really more like I grew up in a very homey life, very like big Mexican family, barbecues, just Sunday dinners. So it's like really, I'm really close to my family. I'm a family person, family oriented. And what I love about LA is that you're also open to so many different cultures. So been involved in different cultures and different like outlets and different communities. So it's really, really cool just being out here.
Yes, yes. God bless to y'all, man. Definitely keeping the unity and sticking together, man. Because my family, man, we all over the place, man. We like fussing and fighting, and everybody just going through what they going through. It's still love, you know what I mean? Like
Still
we
love.
always come back to love, but it's like we need to do some more family get-togethers and things like that. Um, so yeah, tell us a little bit about the 818.
The 818. Well, there's different parts to the 818. Where I grew up, it's Pacoima. So it's very Latino centric. A lot of just community, small businesses. I grew up in like big with brothers, and my dad's a big sports person, so we always go to soccer games and the parks, and it's just also a lot of art, to be honest with you. I mean, I think people don't think of like Pacoima as an art city, but there's just a lot of like artists there, dancers, just painters. There's like, wall art, graffiti art on the walls, but it's like in a way of more like representing the culture. When people think it's like vandalism, it's more of just like really, highlighting culture and everything. So it's a very beautiful town that I love. And we have so much family around me that I don't even realize they're family sometimes, because you're like, oh, that's a cousin, or that's a cousin of a cousin. So it's like really cool to like see if you know somebody in Pacoima, they're probably related or like somehow know each other's family.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I can actually see like LA right now, the way you're explaining it, like I can see the whole thing. Like it's like you painting a good vision of it. You know what I mean? Because I've never been out there. I would like to come out there. You know what I mean? Hopefully, when I get out there, I'll be like, "Yo, sis, what's going on? Let me
Yeah.
know what's going on out here." You know what I mean? And that'd be dope. That'd be amazing. You know what I mean? Um, tell the people, what is it that you do fully? Like, you wrote a book. Um, you said you into the arts. You know, is there anything that we don't know that you want to let us know?
Well, I am using my arts as a way of entrepreneurship. So I'm definitely gearing towards the entrepreneurship journey and really
Yes.
correlate the things that I do as far as my arts. And I don't think people, you know, really correlate entrepreneurship with the arts, or, building yourself as an entrepreneur using your tools that you have. Poetry has been a huge part of how I've been out there, but also a huge part of how it's helped me through my like just gaining that confidence and knowing that my art and my work is speaking to people, and I want to continue writing, and I want to like writing and doing like freelance articles, putting myself out there with my writing. I always kind of held back on showcasing my writing, as growing up. And now as an adult, I feel so much more confident, especially after putting out my book and being so vulnerable with my book. Now I want to tackle other writing outlets, from editorial writing, screenwriting, to screenplays, to TV series writing, to just in general being out there and, creating content that's surrounding how writing has helped my mental health, how it can help other people's mental health. So really correlating everything that I'm doing as far as the arts as my part of my business and my brand.
Oh man, listen, I'm glad that we met, you know what I mean? Because I can see that all on you. And when you get big, I'm gonna be like this, little old me, just like, hey, you know what I mean? I'm over here. Remember us every remember repeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, yes. Um, are you doing exactly what you wanted to do growing up?
I am actually. Well, when I was little, I wanted to be a ballerina and an actress, and I think I always wanted, like, that was like what I wanted. That was my escape, like, But now I feel like I've taken the art, obviously, and kind of evolved it into what I want to do. I'm creating characters through my writing. I do movement when I before I write. I get in the mood, I dance. I'm dancing. Like that is just like my everyday life. I'm dancing. I don't do it professionally, but it's part of who I am, you know.
Right.
And you know, and I want it to be everything magical, so I'm definitely, you know, in doing a lot of spirituality work that really helps me develop myself love and confidence, and you know, bringing abundance to me and recognizing the things that I need. So yeah, I feel like in a way I finally, when I stepped away from corporate life, and even though in the corporate life I was still kind of pretty much doing this, but now the full focus is on the things that I want to do and really like honoring myself.
Oh man, that's amazing, man. I think that's important because period, a lot of people are not doing what they want to do, you
No,
know? And when
no.
you do what you want to do, it's like you reward yourself
Yeah.
and it feels great. It feels
It
amazing.
it does, and it takes a minute to like recognize that, and you know, it takes some risks, some sacrifices. But even while you're on your journey of doing your own thing, there is, you know, obstacles. It's not perfect, you know, but it's still like at the end of the day, I'm happy with where I'm at, and I know that I'm like I have a bigger purpose, and I know that I'm, you know, finally on a right path that I'm again honoring myself and happy with. And I come home and I'm like, the most important thing is that I know what I'm doing has a bigger purpose and I'm happy with it, and nobody can take me off that path.
Yes, you set in the GPS. It's a lot of people that even when they work at a job, it takes time for you to get to that next level rank. So working on yourself, you'll get to that next level rank regardless. It's like it has to happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um, yes, ma'am. Who is someone you admire? Matter of fact, let's before you go to that one, let's go back to the spiritual. The spiritual and like meditation. How big is meditation for you? Like, are you heavy on just like, you know, taking time to yourself and just thinking?
Oh yeah, that's like all day, every day. I think everything, I think people have different ways of what meditating is. It's not always just sitting there in silent and closing your eyes and like, you know, leaving your body. It really is doing things with intention and being mindful. Like even when I cook, I'm very mindful and intention. Like I'm looking at every, you know, ingredient, I'm cutting each ingredient. To when I'm writing, I'm like really, you know, living each word and feeling each word. And even if emotions come in, you know, really, it's like really honoring yourself in these little moments. It doesn't have to look like just sitting there in silence and, you know, forcing yourself to just sit. You know, it's really doing everything, taking a walk and doing it with intention, you know, allowing yourself to just breathe. Even breathing, like we forget to breathe, as simple as that. And those are the things that I try to do every single day. Is like anything that I'm doing, I try to do with intention. While I even watering my garden, intention, you know, like pouring
Uh-huh.
and bringing love back into myself. You know, it's like watering myself, drinking water, like, you know, hydrating myself, pouring love into myself, everything with mindfulness and intention. So it's beyond just like the meditation part. It really is your day to day.
It's crazy how you said we forget to breathe, but like we're breathing all the time, right? But like we don't intentionally take a breath. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's on autopilot,
Yeah.
obviously, but we don't like just sit here and say, all right, like, you know what I mean? Like take that good breath. So it's like that's dope. I think if people were paying attention to the ins and outs and the details of what you just said just now, that would really like
Yeah.
really help somebody, you know what I mean, through their day. Just breathe, you know what I mean? Take that breath on your own time, you know what I mean? So back to who is someone that you admire?
Oh my God, there's just so many people. I mean, to be honest with you, I'll start with my parents. I think my parents have are people that I admire because they migrated to this country without, you know, knowing the language, knowing the culture. They came here in the 70s, like late 60s, 70s. So it was like really, really like completely different from what it is now. And they dealt with so much bullshit, and they pushed through making their American dreams, you know, come true. You know, one of my dad's biggest things was buying a house and just giving his children a better life. And he succeeded in that. Like we've had opportunities that unfortunately he didn't get to have, and his parents have. And so I admire them so much for their hustle, for their just like perseverance, and just coming here and again taking that risk and knowing that they weren't going to live, it wasn't going to be an easy journey, they weren't going to live, you know, perfect, it was definitely going to be hard, but they pushed through it. So, you know, those are my key components. Like my parents, I admire them like all the time. You know, I can sit here and name you all these celebrities that I admire, but the reality is I see my parents every single day, and and they motivate me, you know.
That's dope. That's amazing, man. That's really amazing. Are let me see. We got some goodies for you. Walk us through the kind of space you were in when you were writing. I know you said you dance, but when you wrote your book, what kind of space were you in life?
Ooh, this is, yeah, that was, I wrote this book over a course of 2 years. And I necessarily wasn't in the best place when I started it. I knew that I had a purpose to write. I've always kind of written, but mentally I was dealing with a lot of instability. I had PTSD. My dad was actually taken by ICE in 2018. So because of that, you know, I was able to get him back and everything, and we did this whole campaign that back, and you know, it became, you know, something huge for us, but it left me with a lot of trauma and a lot of fear and doubts, and just I felt like I was stuck. And writing really helped me kind of address those things because I internalized a lot of things, you know, especially as a woman, you if you're, you know, addressing certain things or feeling like you're in fear, and I'm a mom too, so I'm also being able to like recognize that my daughter is watching me, so I internalized a lot of things. So writing helped me really release a lot of things. And you know, I was in a relationship as well, and I was completely in love in this relationship, so really addressing the love I had for this person, a love that I and then seeing that I was not only in love with this person, I was also neglecting myself, you know, seeing that neglect that I did for myself. I wasn't loving myself. So, you know, that showed that instability. My grandmother was dying at that time too, and she was such a big influence growing up. So really addressing death and seeing the beauty in death, like the poetry in death. We're constantly, you know, rebirth and death is constantly happening around us, and really acknowledging that. So it was just so many emotions and like feelings in during this course of this time. There's joy, there was sadness, but really honoring every emotion and really seeing it for what it was and releasing it through my writing.
Man, that's deep. That's deep. Tell us about your masterpiece. Tell us about Cosmica.
Cosmica, yes, it's my personal diary in a way. It's a connection to my higher self. It's those moments where I felt the most real, the most connected to, you know, my emotions. I think again, I internalized a lot, and this was me really giving myself a chance to address the things I wasn't addressing with myself first. You know, before I even like told everybody, it was a chance for me to reflect and allow myself to, you know, release. It's a lot of, you know, things and tools that I used, you know, to help guide me through this pandemic. It was crazy. Obviously, we're locked down. So I do a lot of rituals, a lot of just self-reflection and self-love and self-care. And I really, you know, put that in the book in different steps. I address the chakras, you know, I address the astrology signs. It really is something beyond what a normal book is. It goes whatever you're feeling that day. You know, I always tell people when you're reading my book, don't start from the front to the back, and just open it and like let the universe guide you, and let those signs come to you, and feel what you need for that day.
Mm. Yeah, I like how you smiled when we said, you know, your masterpiece, because it's like you really, I see how passionate you was about even writing the book. You know what I mean? I definitely I gotta get my copy. I have to get my copy. You got to tell the people where to get it. And and for anybody that's on, definitely go up to the top of the page, click the read, remember, repeat sign with the arrow, and add Natalie. Just so
Oh,
you guys can get in tune and see what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she's gonna pop up with some more things. Let them know where we can get the book. See, my guy said he want one. That's my guy, the author too.
you can
So
get
you
it
know,
on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. You can also go on my personal site, La Brujita del Jardín. You can go on my profile on my link tree. You can go into my website. I also have an affirmation deck that goes along with the book. Sometimes, people just want to pull cards and look at affirmations and what speaks to you. And it's a lot. I also wrote those affirmation decks. And yeah, it's like kind of a combination of both, feeling like a little self-care. It's a book of self-care, honestly, and self-love. So just reminding you, to like give yourself love.
mm. What are some of your favorite books? Some of your favorite reads?
My favorite book. So I'm a big Ernest Hemingway fan. I love that. Just like I go back to fiction books a lot. My love for poetry honestly started with Shel Silverstein, which was like those kids' poems. But I really am right now on this path of self-care as well. So I read a ton of like self-help books, and they're from different authors. But Ernest Hemingway is one of my biggest favorite authors, and then George Orwell too, who wrote Animal Farm in 1984, because he goes into like a political thing, and that also helps me with writing more fiction. So it's like completely different from what I write, but it
Mm-hmm.
helps different viewpoints of like just different writers and different perspectives and how they write, their style of writing.
Yes, yes, yes. When inspired on the comments wrote, how do you get your book in stores?
Through publishers, and so I have a publisher, but a lot of that also fell on me. So I have been going into local bookstores that I feel connected with, and
Yes.
I start conversations. I mean, I have the PR background, I have the creative directing background, so I am a people person, and I really do go into bookstores, and I feel like my book is missing in there, and I'm like, hey, like you need that, and I send it out to them, and we talk about like bringing my book in there. So that's really what it is starting with your local bookstores, independent bookstores. To be honest with you, I think that's where it starts. You can definitely, obviously it's great to have them in the big, Barnes and Noble and the Amazons, but I really love supporting my local bookstores, and it gives you an opportunity to connect with other writers that are locally there, other business owners, and when they are having events or any like speaking panels, they can reference you and talk to you and bring you in, especially if you're local.
Oh, that's dope. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You are doing your thing. Shout outs to you, sis. Real talk. Um, where do you like to do your reading? Like, if you was gonna read, where would you like to just like? What's the perfect Zen spot for you to do your reading?
I honestly right here in this spot right here that I'm here. I'm on the floor sitting here. I have a couch and I always sit on my floor in my living room. I have pillows and floor pillows, so I definitely love to do that. I love going outside in my little garden. I have an herb garden, and I like being outside too. Yeah, that's like kind of being at home. I'm a homebody, so I like reading at home, and just like I created my own space here where I don't want to leave, So I'm
Mhm.
like, this is where I want to read, and this is where I get inspired. Um, I've tried the whole working at coffee shops or going somewhere else on the beach, and it just doesn't feel anything like how I built my little home, my little nest.
Mm, nice. That's your circle. That's your safe spot. Your safe haven. Yes, yes, man. Name three words that describe you.
Creative, vulnerable, and warrior.
Mm. I tell you, that warrior spot, yo, it weighed like I can see you wear that. You know what I mean? Through the way you was your speech. the creativeness that you just like you dived right into this speech and you talked about things that were like deep down, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, you know, it takes them a while to get to that point, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And I think
That's
it's okay. I think everybody's at their own pace. I think for me, I've just been it's been a form of me to release and heal, and I love just being I take that charge. I'm like, I'm people are gonna say whatever they want to say, and I'm not gonna do. I want to heal, and if it's me speaking about it and being honoring myself, and and just allowing myself to release, I'm going for it.
mm, let's go. Finish this sentence. On Sunday mornings, you can usually find me.
You can usually find me, oh my God, Sundays are my free days. You can usually find me taking a walk all over my neighborhood. That is what I love, thrift shopping and walking around my neighborhood.
Nice. What are your weekends like?
My weekends are family oriented. I really try to step away. Now that I'm like kind of taking the entrepreneurship journey, I've really focused on my time management and focus on my time. And one of the things I really value is family time and self time. So my weekends are really focused on being around my daughter, or time to really focus on what I want to do, and if that means sit around and chill, then that's what I'm doing. I think we have this emphasis on working around the clock and and it's okay to work all around the clock, but in order to be productive continuously, I think allowing yourself to just relax. So my weekends are chill.
Man, I think I just learned something from you because I feel like I'm always, you know, trying to get there and always trying to just take it to the next level. That it's like I forget sometimes that. But I got 3 kids myself. I mean, I take them out. I do a lot. My friends tell me you're an amazing father. You know what I mean? But even as a father myself, it's like sometimes that I may feel like I'm missing some things, or you know what I mean. I may go out to go work and I'm missing them right away. You know what I mean? And that's a feeling that sometimes, you know, just being a parent, you'll understand it, you know. And they're the best. The best. They're the reason why we do everything that we do, you feel me? And
Really is. My baby is my star, my baby. Like, she is my motivation, and also like I want to like let her know she can do what she wants to do. Like, I can't sit there and be like, you can do whatever you want, and then me not do what I want and hold back. I really am moving with action and purpose, and because she's watching. Kids are always watching us. We're, like I said, my parents were my inspiration. So I know that in a way, I'm the closest thing to an inspiration to her. She could look at all these celebrities, but I'm right here with her, and she's going to look at what I'm doing, and learn from that.
right. Shout outs to all the kids graduating and progressing. The
Yes.
DX Ron and the Sensei. That's my guy. I see you, bro. Um, how is it being a mom and accomplishing goals?
It is definitely, one of those things that's hard. Obviously, it's not an easy journey because you're sitting there and you have to balance. I think somebody wrote balance. Balance is
Mm-hmm.
the key. And, sometimes balance looks so different for everybody and so different day to day. Some days it's all about her, and some days I just lose control of the day. Last week she was sick and I couldn't work. Like, I was at home trying to work, and it just became her. So it was like her focus and everything, and then I'm like, all right, I'll put this later. So sometimes I do feel like, it's a juggling. I'm juggling so many things, but when you do complete something or you do accomplish something, it's very like, that took some work, and I
Yes.
did. And people don't see anything that's happening in the background. They just see what I did, but they don't know the work that I did. And on top of like juggling other things, my own self, my emotions, her emotions, So it's definitely a journey. It is, but so proud of myself for doing it every day. So proud of myself for waking up every day and tackling it, and enjoying every moment. Because
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. Just like breathing, we forget to enjoy those moments. And I really am at this point where I was like, I want to enjoy and like take in everything, just Like, she's gonna grow up, and then I'm gonna be like, no, you know, and no, and then giving empathy to myself, because sometimes you can't accomplish everything all at once. You have to allow yourself to be like, okay, I'm sure you're raising 3 kids. Like, it takes time, That's like a whole accomplishment on its own. So it's really showing yourself empathy for the things that you're doing.
Yes. What book gave you that eureka moment? Like, to me, I feel like there's a few books that gave it to me, but like I get a high from reading and then figuring and then reading something that actually is like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like damn, I just learned something new. You know what I mean? What book gave you that eureka moment?
There is a book. It wouldn't be one book. It's her book. It's series. Her name is Erica Buenaflor, and she is like a teacher, indigenous. Like, she really talks about spirituality, and combining a lot of herbalism and everything. And she gave me such a in one of her books, she wrote, she had an accident. She like fell, she was hiking and she fell, and she hurt her back, and she had to go through different surgeries. And she really combined spirituality, wellness, herbalism, and self-care and self-love to push through all of those. She had to like learn to walk again. And it was so crazy. Like, I read this and I was like, wow, like, she really taught herself and really emphasized on spirituality, really believed in herself, and didn't give up, and didn't see this accident as like a form of like, a setback or an obstacle. She really saw it as a purpose to like continue on, and write. She wrote about it. I mean, she continued on to write books and inspired. She used this dark moment in her life and turned it into light. And that's where I had like inspiration of everything that I've been doing, is that everything that's traumatic that's been happening to me or that happened to me, turning it into a bigger purpose, and knowing that it's just, helping me down my path, and, making it poetry for me. That was taking, the dark moments in my life and the shadows in my life, and making it into poetry, and acknowledging those dark moments and not shying away from them, but also allowing myself to know that those weren't setbacks or obstacles. They were helping me, push through.
Yes. Yes, your story is amazing. People, our stories are amazing. I want everybody on this call to know, you know what I mean, whatever happens must happen for you to reach your goal. You play an important part in this world. Keep going, you know what I mean, and just try to listen out for your purpose, because it's there. It's there,
Absolutely.
Yes. What are some causes you care about?
Immigration is a big cause for me. Obviously, I had with my father. I think immigration reform is really, a big cause for me that I really want to help out, because once that happened to my dad, it opened my eyes to so many different things that's happening, to the Black and brown community. Beyond that, it's just like, um, that's a big thing. Also, really emphasizing and leveraging with my business and with what I do and my writing, is really leveraging women of color, Latinas, Black women, really kind of pushing them to the forefront. And because that's a huge thing, we've been held back so much, and the resources aren't there and the tools aren't there. But not only that, it's like the being broken every day, and like, and it's like still coming back and be like, no, I'm here, so really like putting their stories to the forefront and writing that. And hopefully with my writing, I'm able to create stories and give other people the ability to inspire them to write their own stories and come out, and really just leveraging them, so those are like one of the main causes of what I do. Beyond everything, I mean, there's just kids, mental health, like that's a huge thing for me too. And I've done workshops at schools where we talk about writing as, a tool to help help them with their mental health, because that's something that I deal with, you know, personally. I, you know, have been dealing with mental health issues throughout my whole life. You know, it stemmed from my own parents, and, you know, just being able to push through those. And, you know, even more during the pandemic, it really like was something that I was like, oh, I'm dealing with this, and I couldn't escape it. You know, I couldn't go to work and be like, it's not happening. You know, it was literally right there. You know, so mental health is another big thing that's why my book was written. You know, me pushing through the mental health issues. You know.
Oh man. The pandemic was kind of, you know, I would say it was weird, but at the same time, you know, you had to learn something from it. You know, I don't know if, you know, but like we said, whatever happens for you to reach your goal. So it's like it kind of had to happen. You know, I'm sorry for all the people that we lost in that transition. You know, but you know, for the people that are still here and you know still moving, and you know, it's something that came from that. It's something that definitely came from that I feel, you know, woke up a lot of people and actually made people pay attention to themselves, you know?
Yeah, reflect and honor themselves and say, you know, not ignoring some of the things that we've been dealing with, because, you know, we were so caught up in our daily routines that we would neglect ourselves, neglect our emotions and everything.
Oh man, that's amazing. How do you want to be remembered?
I don't know. I think the creative, the warrior, the, you know, that person, the one that turned the dark moments into light and just pushed through. You know, I don't know, just different inspiring different communities and different people. Well, however it's they whatever they need, you know. So I don't know,
All
just
right,
warrior, I guess. That's the main thing.
all right, let's go. If a genie gave you three wishes, what would they be?
Oh my goodness, I always think of this. Um, I I don't even know what I would do with all these.
Yeah, I love this question because everybody gets here and
I
really gets to like decision time.
honestly, I would first of all, I would probably address the whole climate change. That alone to me, you know, really like get in the nick of that. I think I would also use that for people to really start becoming more vulnerable with each other and more empathetic towards each other. That a wish. I think empathy, we lack a lot of empathy for each other sometimes. And it starts with us, obviously. So, wish. And then third wish would be to make sure my family is taken care of, generation after generation after generation, like my whole entire generation. That's one thing, is like I want to leave knowing that, you know, I broke cycles, that my parents, and, you know, obviously they're taken care of, and that my daughter's taken care of, and then my future generations are taken care of as well. So the big emphasis on the future generations. So, because I can have all the wishes I want right now, but if I'm not doing something for the future, what's the point?
Hmm. Did you have to change your approach to life? Did you have to, you know, in changing and just like, do you feel that you have to constantly, you know, take a new approach to life,
I
to
think
existence?
I think we do that every day when we get up.
Mm,
Like seeing what works for you daily, what doesn't. I think the mindset is important. I think telling yourself, you know, you can do it, you can push. I definitely learned to speak to myself better. You know, I think that I used to really be negative about myself and push myself down. And I had to really, you know, watch myself, how I was talking to myself, and really, you know, how I would communicate with others about myself was really important too. So I definitely changed that, and I do that every single day. Is like I remind myself, like, you're just human, you're pushing through, you know, you're loved, you are loved. Like, you know, really focusing on pouring love into myself and using words to really reprogram myself and being careful with how I speak to myself. And because again, that empathy is so important and it starts with you. So really showing empathy to myself was really important, because before I can start doing it to the other people, I really felt like I was like my worst critic. So changing that.
Nice, nice. What do you see at the end of the year? Goals wise, friends, love, networking, like in a bunch. What do you see at the end of the year for yourself?
I see myself really surrounded by other amazing creatives and doing what I love, continue to doing what I love to do. Hopefully, getting the opportunity to write more books, do a new deck, more amazing creative things. Just being open to so many more opportunities and possibilities. That's one of the things that I see yourself. Just continue to push through and being like doing what I love to do.
That's dope, man. That is so dope. Um, we do 5 for 5, right? This is like, when you go to Wendy's, they got 4 for 4. So we usually do 5 for 5. 5 questions, 5 answers. Um, top 5 places you visited.
Top 5 places: Hawaii, Arizona, Tulum, my parents' hometown in Mexico, little ranch. I have New York.
Okay.
I went to Salt Lake. I don't know how many was that? What did I skip?
I was like 6. I was like, I'm gonna let sis keep going, man. I'm like, it sounds interesting as hell. Like,
Or any of that. I've kind of stuck to the side of the world.
yes, nice. That's dope, man. Top 5 places you want to go.
I want to go to Italy. I love pasta, so I think I just want to go to places where I like to eat. I love I want to go to Cuba. I love Cuban food. Um, I want to go to Bali, and because I that's like such a spiritual place. Um, did I say Argentina? Because Argentina has bomb food too.
Okay.
Yeah, and Iceland. For some reason, I like Iceland.
Ooh, Iceland. Um, I guess you just said a bunch of foods that you like. I was gonna ask you top 5 foods, but what are your top 5 foods, matter of fact?
I love, love, love Caribbean food. So I am a huge like Cuban, Barbie, like Caribbean food is like my top. I love Italian food, Mexican food, obviously. Um, I love Japanese food is really good, and then like Argentinian food is really good too. So yeah,
Nice.
I love food, so it's up there.
Let's go. Top 5 books.
Books. Well, Animal Farm, 1984. A Love to Remember. Um, there is independent writers that I love. One of them was Libre by Davina. She wrote she's one of my publishers. I also am a nerd, and I love this book that is to teach you how to write. It's called Models for Writers. And then I am a sucker for the chicken soup books.
That's dope. That's dope. Great lineup, man. Top 5 things to do.
I taking walks, painting. I paint with my daughter. Um, I love to pray. Uh, I love to garden and dance.
Mm, look at that, man. What an amazing soul right there. Nat, man, listen, we super appreciated you today, man. I'm talking about you made my day better just now. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
made my
Um,
better. I love.
just connecting with a creative, you know what I mean? They said your network is your best work. So I'm telling you, man, I definitely appreciated this live right here. We need you to come back again. We need you to come
Yeah,
back again.
please. I would love to come back. I am excited. This is really cool. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you.
Oh man, I feel like I started something amazing to just, reach out to readers because, we not, it's not big into the culture too much. It is, you'll find readers, but like we're in the cut. You know what I mean? Like,
I know reading is what got me through my life, honestly. Like especially during those teen years, I would literally just I still go to the library and sit at the library and read, but I was, like I said, the biggest nerd, and I would read, and those R.L. Stein books started it all, and everything. So reading's such an important thing, and it inspires you to just keep going and create worlds, and you know.
Nat, man. Read, remember, repeat. It's your host with the most, Michael Mugaboy, and we collabed here today with Natalie. And yes, man, get the book Cosmica. I want you guys to definitely tap in. I'm gonna get my copy. Yes,
Yeah.
there it goes. Show that one more time. Look at that. Oh man, what a great cover. It fits you, sis. And let's keep being great, man. Let's be great to ourselves and be great to the world, man. Read,
Yeah.
remember, repeat. Sis, you enjoy. It's 11 o'clock over there where you at, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. possibly where we at. This is where we started, 2:11. But amazing interview. Thank you, Natalie, for your presence.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, family.